Chelsea 2, Wolves 4. Is Maurizio in trouble?
He is. He
really is, isn't he?
I'll tell you what I did this morning.
I thought Wolves would give him a tough game.
Because I went to the toilet this morning, which is the correct place to be thinking about Chelsea at the moment, if I'm totally honest. And it dawned on me, I had this sudden thought, and I went, maybe they can't sack him.
Why?
Well, if you think about it.
Because of payoff?
Yeah. Imagine, seriously, imagine they were that close on PSR. If they sack him now, it's got to go on the financial reports this year, right? Imagine they were that close to the edge and they couldn't sack him because of that. Now,
I don't think they should.
He's only on a 2-year contract, so it's probably really unlikely.
I don't think they should.
But if he was on a 5-year contract, it might have been a problem, you know.
Yeah. Do you think they should sack him?
I think I said to Chelsea fans at the start of the season, you will need 3-4 months to see.
It's been longer than that,
where you're at. And I think you've seen little brief periods of upshoots, like the Man City 4-4. They were great, right? That's 3 months ago now. When you look at the team they're picking at the weekend, you'd have to even say, yeah, sure, there's a few that they're without who could come back in, like
maybe Reece James,
and Fofana,
centre back.
And the goalkeeper, I think Sanchez, yeah, sure. But actually, Petrovic has not been Chelsea's problem. He's been fine in goal. I couldn't look at any of them goals and think it was his fault, particularly with the deflections. Like, he's not at fault for any of them goals at the weekends. He's not their biggest problem. But honestly, you look at that team now and you go, yeah, that might be their best 11.
Yeah, definitely the front, midfield 2 and then the 4 in front of them.
There was a lot of chatter within our Slack that we had wind that we thought this was the Chelsea team on Saturday night. There's someone going around, I don't know who it is, on some forum who seems to keep getting the predicted team right kind of 24 hours in advance for Chelsea. Something to be aware of. And it was exactly that it was. And it was obviously Chilwell and Gusto. And factor in everything I've been saying about protecting Thiago Silva. As soon as I saw that team, I thought they're in bang trouble. And I went in our Chelsea Slack channel and went, I think Pedro Neto's going to have some joy out. And sure enough, he did. Neto actually played as the central forward with licence to go and drift into those wide areas and vacate the space, obviously, particularly to the right-hand side when Chelsea's fullbacks push forward. That Chelsea lineup was like a dream for him. Absolute dream. And also for Cunha as well. If you look at the goals, one is caused by a big error by Caicedo, and the remaining 3 goals are caused by running in wide areas. So obvious once you saw that team. That's why I said last week that unfortunately, as amazing as he is and has been, if you want to do that and play with them 2 fullbacks and play with kind of a flatter midfield 3 and with a real protector like Caicedo, you've got to take him out of the team. It's too much work for him. That, where Neto's running him at the 3rd goal, he's almost blameless. What do you want him to do? You're isolating a player's weakness and highlighting it for everyone to see. So I don't know if that experiment will happen again. So if you're suddenly thinking Chilwell or Gusto, I mean, you're not going to be looking at buying Chelsea new now anyway, even though it's Palace next. City away and then a blank. And it might be another blank in 29 if they obviously get a positive result on Wednesday. Yes, there's a case to hold what you've got, but I don't think there's any case to be investing new and buying. Like, Nkunku was quite underwhelming. Nah. We know the asset is Palmer. Gusto, because of his value, is a potential hold, subject to how you feel and what it covers best. But I think even in Gusto's case, say they did play in 29, he ain't starting in 25. He's unavailable 26. I ain't starting him 29. If I come to the conclusion that I wasn't starting him in 27 or 28, then he can be chopped as well. I don't even definitely start him against Palace. Yep. It's not even a definite for me. So, yeah, they're in trouble. And there's enough of a turn now because the excuses stop. What Chelsea fans will want is obviously something to believe in.
Yeah,
they're not. If they're getting beaten and losing games, you can see the real pattern of play, or they're looking really good and energetic. Think of Pochettino's Tottenham at its best and it's high energy and stuff. They're not look very deliberate. It's like their possession numbers are always quite good. It's kind of, I saw this happen in his last year with Tottenham, where Tottenham became, rather than this all-action aggressive team, once he lost Dembele, they became more of a counter-attacking team that relied very much on, say, Son's speed, Ali joining in with Harry Kane and stuff. And it changed from being a team that was more akin to actually what Chelsea looks like now, that controls. And I always said my one real concern about him coming back to Tottenham would have been I'm not seeing a good Tottenham team with him without Moussa Dembele. And Chelsea obviously don't have that player.
No.
So, yeah, concern. But I have to say, though, Gary O'Neill, what a job he's doing.
I was going to say, like, in terms of managers of the season or whatever, they're 10th now. They leapfrogged Chelsea after that win.
I do hate the manager of the season conversation at this stage.
He was underwhelmed, like, as an appointment. People are like, what the fuck? He's just kept Bournemouth up just about. Why are we getting this guy? And obviously you're coming off, what's his face from Sevilla, who's done so well. Why is the manager's name? Lopetegui. So you're kind of, it is not as an attractive a name potentially, but yeah.
I like that you use the word attractive as well, because what he's actually done for us neutrals, he's made Wolves attractive.
Yeah.
For the first time in a really long time. You think Wolves are playing. I look at them playing Sheffield United in a few weeks. That's the only Premier League game on a Sunday, and I think, I look forward to that because I look forward to watching Wolves.
We talk about Cunha and they're like, shit, they paid 40 million for him. He's not a 45 million striker, is he? He's just banged the hat-trick in at Stamford Bridge. But he's now,
here's a trivia question for you.
If they went to sell him, you might get 40 million for him.
Since game week 12, how many forwards in FPL have scored more points than Cunha? It's
Maybe
another
Watkins.
stat, Nick, from Scat. No, he's got more than Watkins since game week 12.
It's only those two.
It's just Solanke.
Yeah, it's only those two I would have suggested.
Can you believe it? That's brilliant. Listen, there's he's obviously, look, one's a penalty and obviously his first goal's heavily deflected as well. But he is more suitable to not playing the 9 role, basically, because I think he ends up back the goal a bit. He's almost better off playing it as a false 9 or coming from this wider area. He's a great ball carrier. He's really direct. The other thing that massively stands out with him is he's a little bit greedy. Like, he shoots a lot. But that's good for fantasy, right?
Of course.
The more you shoot, the more likely you're going to have. If you take someone like, as a comparison at the moment, Rashford, who's played a bit better the last few games, but seems to be trying to take one touch too many before he's getting his shots away, this lad don't think twice about it. And you'll end up with the deflected goals as a part of a course of that. So, yeah, I think it's probably just a little bit unfortunate for him. Those who are on will be absolutely delighted. But actually just Wolves players in general at the moment, that there's so much focus on perhaps the teams who've got the doubles coming up rather than actually invest in them. But it's a similar thing. Like, you know, could you go, it'll feel a bit bizarre at this moment, but something like Watkins to Cunha to open up money again, yeah, sure. Consider it. And also, I mentioned about moving to, say, Moreno in 26. Well, say you get to 26 and you've got Nunes up front. Could you be looking at Cunha at that point? Yeah, you absolutely could.
Agreed.
Yeah, and I think he'd be the one. Just bear in mind as well, obviously Hwang, South Korea highly likely to get to the Asia Cup final, so he probably won't be back this week, but back for 25 and therefore potentially back for 26. Now, if you end up in a scenario where, just hypothetically, again, you end up with, say, and this is perfectly plausible, you get to 26 and you've got Salah, Jota, Richarlison, Palmer, and they're all blanking, you're looking for a midfielder in 26, he'll come back on the agenda. And I would strongly recommend, under that circumstance, even though you can't see it at the moment, Neto is providing really well. The assists keep coming, but Hwang and Cunha are more capable of doing like what Cunha's done yesterday and hitting that big hole. And Hwang might just come back and be a huge differential for 26.
Nice.